Hello and welcome back to our channel Narrative Deconstructed. The topic of today is the West Asian Inferno. This time we are going beyond the headlines and will analyze the nuances of this crisis that no media channel is talking about right now. Friends, what if I tell you the most powerful military in the world is right now being held at bay by a drone that actually costs less than a luxury SUV? Yes, that sounds like a glitch in the matrix, but that's the brutal reality of today. For every 20,000 Iranian drone launch, US is firing a $4 million Petro-Dollar missile. Literally, we are witnessing a war for the first time in history where you can win every battle but can still go bankrupt. On Feb 28 last month, the global order changed. US and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury and the Operation Roaring Lion. These operations weren't just strikes, they aimed for the head. And by March 1st, Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was dead, and in retaliation, Iran launched Operation True Promise 4, which shattered the safe haven status of the countries comprising GCC, Gulf Cooperation Council. While the US celebrates its air superiority, the global economy is bleeding, and in the middle of this fight, there is a deafening silence from New Delhi. So friends, grab your coffee. The global geopolitical tightrope has got a lot thinner. Let's discuss it. But to understand where we are going with this, we have to look at the spark that actually lit the fuse. Let's call a spade a spade. That conflict did not start yesterday. It's a decades-old grudge match fueled with three things: dollar, oil, and ego. US strategy has been simple. You control the tap and you control the world. If you sell oil in dollars, you are our friend. And if you switch to rupees, riyals, or rubles, you are a threat to democracy. Iran's real sin was not a nuclear program. It was its refusal to play a cheerleader for the US hegemony. And this hegemony trial, this is like a Hollywood movie sequel that no one literally asked for. We have seen this before. In Iraq, the million Iraqis are dead because they lied about the weapons of mass destruction. Spoiler alert, there were none. In Libya, they entered in the disguise of a humanitarian intervention, which turned a stable nation into a warlord's playground. And in Syria, that country is literally in rubbles because of the decades-old chaos. US enters a country to restore sovereignty and they leave behind a sovereignty crisis. They don't create democracy, they create a vacuum. And today, India is caught in this dollar mandate where we have to pay a geopolitical tax to keep our lights on, while the US works tirelessly to ensure that we don't become the next China. Now you might ask, why now? Why did the US finally pull the trigger? This was not a preemptive strike. It was a calculated move built on four strategic pillars. First, the weakness window. Following the domestic protests from Iran, US saw the regime at its most vulnerable in the last 40 years. Second, the failure of Geneva talks. Just 2 days before the operation in Geneva, the talks failed, where US demanded unconditional surrender to enrichment, and Iran refused, so the US decided to throw the baby out with the bathwater. The pen was traded with the Tomahawk. Third, the Petro-Dollar Defiance. Iran was successfully settling its oil payments in non-dollar currencies. Operation Epic Fury was a strike on its financial rebellion. And lastly, the midterm elections. With the US elections looming, a decisive victory can be seen as a good way to kill two birds with one stone, securing the ballot boxes and the Gulf. Now the impact, the Hormuz ghost and the Minab tragedy. As the old saying goes, when the elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers, and right now the grass is burning. War is not a chess move, it is a meat grinder. The precision of Operation Epic Fury was a myth. The world will never forget the tragedy of Shajara Tayyiba school at Minab, where 180 plus girls' child were killed. The US lectures the world on human rights. They were actually the one who bombed that school. It is the double standard hypocrisy of US. And for the Hormuz ghost, where Iran is using electronic shadows, GPS spoofing has literally turned that strait into the Bermuda Triangle. The ships are going in circle, completely lost at the sea. And for India, there is a danger crisis looming over its head. We have crude for 74 days, but zero strategic reserve for LNG. And if the ships do not move by the last date, India stops, period. And for the GCC, hits at airports and luxurious hotels has literally triggered a massive stock market crash amounting to 7.8 lakh crore rupees. We are literally jumping from frying pan to the fire. And now its impact on India. This war is not about the gas in your car, it's more about the food on your plate and the silicon in your pocket. While we focus on the strait, an invisible war is hitting our supply chains. First, the Semiconductor Chokehold. We're building a $100 billion chip industry. Australia provides gypsum and sulfur, which are very essential for the tech, and with the straits closed, we're making India dream just hit the wall. Second, the fertilizer prices. 60% of industrial minerals come from West Asia, and if the strait remains closed, the prices of fertilizer will skyrocket, and this will explode our fiscal deficit. Third, and most importantly, the diaspora dilemma. We have 10 million Indians, 10 million Indians in the Gulf, and you can't protect 10 million Indians with a telephone diplomacy. It is like a humanitarian catastrophe for every second household in Punjab and Kerala. Well, you might be wondering, where is the world police, where is the UN, where are the institutions that were built exactly to prevent prevent this kind of scenario. In March this year, the international order is officially on a life support, and a superpower can ignore International Atomic Energy Agency, bypass the UN, and start a regime war chain on a Saturday morning. Who is actually in charge? Even the director of IAEA, Rafael Grossi, confirmed that there was no immediate nuclear threat from Iran, yet the UN stays paralyzed. The US ignored the UN and claimed self-defense under Article 51 of the UN Charter Act, which many international lawyers call textbook illegal and biased. And for the UNHRC, they keep on lecturing the world on human rights, children's rights, women's rights. Yet they oversaw the bombing of Taiba Shajara school at Minab, 180 children dead. They call it a grave violation, but in a unipolar world, UN is just a paper tiger. It is the ultimate double standard. When a fly falls in your tea, you throw the tea away. But when a fly falls in the Petro-Dollar of the Middle East, the West throws the fly away and keeps on pouring. This brings us to the elephant in the room, India's strategic silence. Why we are watching our friend burn? There are three incidences where Iran really showed up for India. पहला, जब पाकिस्तान ने क्लेम किया कि कश्मीर में हिंदुस्तान कश्मीरी पंडितों के ऊपर एट्रोसिटीज कर रहा है, तब यूएन में ईरान ने हमारी साइड ली। दूसरी, जब भी कश्मीर का मुद्दा उठा यूएन में पाकिस्तान के द्वारा, ईरान ने हिंदुस्तान का साइड दिया। तीसरा, जब बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट क्राइसिस हिंदुस्तान में हुआ, ईरान ने अलाउ किया कि हिंदुस्तान उससे तेल खरीदे, वो भी रुपीज में, ना कि डॉलर्स। यह एहसान है ईरान के हमारे ऊपर। But still this strategic silence, why? It's like a stab in the back. Yes, and to understand this silence, let's look at the trade deal of the century. We have pledged to buy more than $500 billion of America's tech, energy and coal. We effectively traded our civilizational partner for a US energy contract. And there comes the twist, the Pak-Russia twist. We tried to please America by ditching Russia, but Russia did not cry. They hooked up with Pakistan on the Pak Stream pipeline. It is like switching from a loyal geo plan to a glitchy one, only to find out that your old provider is selling S-400s to your rival. This time we'll talk about the critical insight, the price of the seat. As the smoke clears, is India being smart or scared? In the startup world, we talk about pivoting. And the pivot is only successful when you don't burn your bridges. India hasn't just pivoted, it has burned all its bridges and is waiting for the US helicopters to arrive on time. By watching the girls' school turn to rebels and staying silent is showing the world that our principles has a price tag. We have effectively traded our civilizational partner for a vendor. And if India really wants to be the Vishwa Bandhu, it must show and must realize that the true power is not about the GDP figures. It's about moral authority, upholding it, preserving it, and promoting it. And remember, my friends, silence is not a strategy. It is indecisiveness, and it is a symptom of indecision. By staying silent today, we might save some numbers on our gas bill, but we will lose our seat at the head of the table in the next decade. And as we wrap up this discussion, the question still remains: is India being smart or just scared? This strategic silence might save our GDP today, but it will cost us our soul tomorrow. The Gulf is no longer a safe haven, it is a burning furnace. The clock is ticking, and this silence is a luxury we can't afford when our energy lifeline is cut. We are walking on a tightrope that has started to singe. What do you think, guys? Is India's silence a masterstroke of diplomacy or a moral abdication? Drop your comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more such deep dives. I'm Dilawar Miza, and I'll see you in the next one.